With the announcement of the recent announcement of the Vision Quest, I've received a number of emails asking questions about the visionary process, specifically with regards to health issues. So, for example, someone who maybe has a back problem or a hip problem or maybe a psychological disorder where they need to take certain medication in order to remain stable, bipolar or something like that, possibly. Or, if you have to take heart medicine or things like that on a daily basis, what do you do during a vision quest? And would a vision quest be possible for individuals like that? So before I answer that question specifically, the Vision Quest process is it's an 8-day process as I convey it. The 2 days are just leading up to the Vision Quest. It's a teaching of the process, how to get the most out of the Vision Quest, how to prepare your Vision Quest circles, and just preparatory period, and get you in the right mindset as well. And then there are 4 days in the Vision Quest circle where we are seeking awareness, seeking clarity, being. And those 4 days in the Vision Quest circle, we're not tenting. It's just sleeping out under the stars. Now, you may have a sleeping bag. If you have, back issues or hip issues or that sort of thing, you can't sleep in a sleeping bag. Bring pads out. An air mattress I found works really well for people that are, that experience a lot of pain while sleeping on hard surfaces. So I would recommend an air mattress for people like that. You can usually get them at camping stores easily enough. We will also have a tarp in the event that it rains, although the season that we're going to be doing it in late June, early July, I've never seen it rain. It's still a good idea to bring a tarp. So, with regard to individuals who, maybe have trouble walking, because the Vision Quest is taking place on and very near my house, which is mountainous territory. During the preparation, you're going to be carrying out 4 jugs of water, 4-gallon jugs of water, 4-gallon jugs of water, a gallon of water for each day. There won't be any eating out there. An exception we'll make is for individuals who have to take medicine every day, and if you have to take it with food, you can bring out a kind of nutrition bar or something like that to use for consuming your medicine. Ideally, we wouldn't, take in any foods or medicines during that time unless we needed to. But it's better to have you out on the land and in connection with that place of innocence and direct earth communication with a little food than without. So we'll make certain exceptions for individuals that need to, for medication purposes, take their medication. We don't want you to stop taking medication if that's going to help you. Or, if you have bipolar disorder or a heart disorder or something like that, that you really do need to keep the medication going, then by all means, we'll make that exception. Same with air cushions and whatnot. We can make that exception. With regard to a person maybe who has difficulty walking on and unstable surfaces or rugged terrain, there's a long trail that we do our Vision Quests on. And there are the variety of terrain. Some are very, very easy to access, and some are more require a little more hiking to get to. But generally, they're not that far from my house, where the training center is. So the hike is a couple of 100 yards, maybe, not far, and the hillside that we do it on is not too rugged, and you just choose a location that feels right to you. And so if hiking and unstable terrain is difficult, then you'll pick a spot that's less remote and less challenging. I think that pretty well sums it up. The point of the Vision Quest is to remove us from our comfort zones and to get us into the heart of nature, to strip away really almost all associations with modern man, modern woman, modern person type environment, so that we're touching the earth. that we are surrounded by the vibrance of nature, the smells, the senses, the spores, you name it, everything that's out there. And that enlivens the body as well as exhausts it. It exhausts the mind. And in that process, there starts to be a great prioritization, a great clarity, and oftentimes even actual visionary experiences that help to guide our lives. I've yet to see a single person who came out of the Vision Quest, assuming they completed it. Now, if a person jettisons the process early and gives up, now that would be unfortunate. It's very rare, but that sort of thing does happen on occasion. And so the goal is just to stay in that Vision Quest circle. It's a 10-foot diameter circle. And your job is just to stay there for 4 days, drinking water and we'll dig a little hole, latrine right next to your place where you'll urinate and cover it over with dirt. And so the only thing you have to do is just stay there. And what will happen during the Vision Quest process, one of the things that will happen is you'll realize that your most powerful enemy is your own mind. And if you can get through that, you'll find that most of the other challenges of life pale by comparison. So there are a number of dimensions to the Vision Quest that make it extraordinarily powerful. One is it'll reprioritize your life. Two is it'll give you a sense that you can accomplish that which is very difficult or seems impossible. It'll give you a lot of clarity as to how your mind actually works and what it's been doing and how you've been distracting yourself from it and hiding from it, and how it just keeps chasing you through life. And we don't want to be chased by the mind anymore. The goal of the Vision Quest is to take authority in your life. And so that you are guiding the mind, it's not guiding you. That you are the master, not the slave to the mind. And then, of course, is the physical discomfort and just time, the boredom and whatnot that we experience. When you get through those 4 days, at the end, surprisingly, I haven't seen an exception to this, but we'll just assume that there can be an exception. But usually by the end, a person is in a metaphorical state of Eden. They're clear and they're just in love with life. It's like a giant reset. But it doesn't mean you don't have to go through some amount of hell to get to that inner heaven. And so that process of going through the hell gives you a kind of realization that you can handle a lot more than you thought you could. And that there's not a need to run from the mind anymore. And that's when we begin to really take authority in our lives. So for that purpose, we will make exceptions for people who need to take medicine or who have physical disorders that make it difficult. If you're in a wheelchair, that's probably not going to work. I don't think the trails are not wide enough to be able to get a wheelchair through there. But, barring that, we can probably if you can walk, we can probably get you out there and to a place that's going to be energetically suitable for you and get you the experience. So if concern for physical issues has been answered in this video, or psychological issues has been answered in this video, and you feel like you'd like to go ahead, we are offering a Vision Quest in 2019. It's coming up late June, early July, June 29th, if I recall, through July 6th. It's an 8-day retreat. It's a Saturday to Saturday, 8-day quest, Vision Quest, and it's a non-traditional quest. If you're interested, you can contact me at my email address, contact@richardhaight.net. It's Haight, Richard, pronunciation Haight.net, if you're going to spell it out. And if you'd like to find more information on my website, you can see that on www.richardhaight.net, and there's a tab at the top called Quest. You click that and you can read more information. Looking forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. This is not a ceremony that I offer every year. The last time was probably 3 or 4 years ago. It's quite intensive for me as the person who's offering it, and it's only something that can be offered at a very specific time of year in Southern Oregon. So now is the time, and if you're interested, go ahead and contact me. Have a great day. Bye bye.